Hi, something on 10% reservation for economically weaker sections, EWS. Uh, First, we need to understand what is this doing to impact the benefits for the reservation categories. Is it impacting? First, let's look at it like this. The communities that are benefiting from reservation, they still could compete in OC after exhausting the quota otherwise. So if there is a 50% reservation, after this 50% is done, they can still compete in OC, where they can compete with others on merit to the extent of 50%. And this 10% reservation takes away that benefit to the extent of 10%. So probably if it is 50%, now it is coming down to 40%. Now, is there somebody who's really getting impacted, who is really losing out because of this? I doubt that could be the case. So there is actually no need for somebody to have gone to the court for whatever reason. And because of that, the court has now thrown up some interesting thoughts. It appears generally that the court is okay to have a relook at the reservation policy. Even economic criteria is okay as long as it is applicable to every other section, not just restricted to the other communities or the forward communities. So there appears to be some kind of a consensus on economic criteria also, which is not against the constitution, whatever, with some kind of modifications to suit every needs. And that thinking, and because now this has been upheld, now this judgment is opening up ways for some further changes, some further possibilities that can happen in future. I am trying to think aloud on those things. And even before that, if there is a review petition for this, we all know review is not an appeal process, so review might not get admitted. Even if it gets admitted, even assuming there is a 9-judge constitution bench that is going to go through this all over again, I think that would still be a welcome step. There will be some finality on this topic of providing a reservation based on economic criteria. Now, looking at what further possibilities are there. Now, one of the important criticisms of the limits is 8 lakhs. 8 lakhs per annum appears to be too high. Does it mean like somebody who's getting 7.5 lakhs per annum, is he a poor man? Somebody who's having 4.5 acres of land, is he a poor man? So should the benefit of reservation be extended to somebody by these standards? Are they really economically weak? That's a strong criticism. I think that is where there is a different possibility. Now, everybody agrees that 8 lakhs is too high. So, probably 8 lakhs will be set as a limit, can be set as a limit. And anybody who is getting more than 8 lakhs, that can now be considered to be a creamy layer. And this creamy layer can be excluded from the current groups that are benefiting from reservation. So what that would mean is people who are still at the lower rungs in terms of economics, they will get an opportunity. So that could really meet the real targeted people, the real deserving people. That is a good possibility. The other thing that can happen is the multi-point reservations that can be relooked. Somebody who's a graduate, for PG there need not be a reservation. Somebody who's got employment, for his promotion there need not be a reservation. After all, everybody is the same after they got into the company, and after that it is performance that counts. It can happen like that. That is a possibility. Okay. And then economic criteria can be extended to everybody. So abolish caste-based reservations, or that can happen in some other form. So a main criteria will only be economic criteria, in which case the limit can also be brought down, let's say only 2 lakhs per annum or 3 lakhs per annum or whatever, but that is extended to every section of the society. So everybody, irrespective of caste, irrespective of any other segmentation, people who are at the lower levels of the society in terms of economics, they would get an opportunity. So what does it mean? So does it mean that there should not be any upliftment or affirmative action, etc.? It has to have, it has to be. So what kind of shape it can take? For example, we have to take care of people, every section of the society. There is no question on that side. That said, the age relaxations can continue. The fee relaxations for different jobs and things like that, those things can continue. And then there can be a focused education. Maybe apart from school, there can be a different education for people who are not able to assimilate things easily, those kind of things, and money can be invested. And means scholarships, money can be invested in different ways to bring these people at a level where they are in a position to compete with everybody, and that can lead to a level playing field for everybody. People who otherwise were at a disadvantageous situation have now been provided with all that they need to compete. And then now when everybody is at a level playing field, we can still consider affirmative action when everything else is the same. For example, when there is a cutoff mark and everybody is at the same cutoff mark, at that level an affirmative action can be considered, a particular group can be favored. That would be good, and everybody will be on board. There will not be any kind of criticism saying some opportunity has been taken away from somebody to be given to somebody. So those kind of criticisms will not happen, and that is a good thing to happen. For all this, I think there is something important which is an underlying factor. Now there are a few things that have to be based on the size of the population, pro rata to the population. Ration, for example, one person is given 1 kg rice, 5 people have to be given 5 kg rice. The resources have to be given in terms of the size of the population. It has to be prorated. There is no question of any other way. While the resources can be distributed according to the size of the population, there are certain things where a delivery of service has to be taken care at the expected level of service delivery. A job is more of a service delivery than being a resource, and that is where people have had different kinds of thought processes that clash with each other. When a job is seen as a service, and then the service has to be delivered at a particular expected level, then we need to have people who will do the job, who are competent at the same level at the particular position. That is how it has to be done. So a job is a different thing than a resource. A job is a delivery of a service. So when we reach those levels and retaining the kind of affirmative action, whatever I just thought about, I think that will be real upliftment in the society. uh, that has to happen. That would be true upliftment. I would also like to think like this: uh, when someone is benefiting from some scheme, he should also give back something to the society. Like in corporates, people sponsor somebody for higher studies, they take a bond. Something like that we should have for people who are benefiting from these schemes. It could take the form like, say, I am taking the benefit of reservation. Let's say I should teach in a rural school for a year, and that should be mandated. And that could create a multiplier effect in terms of spreading education, uh, creating a sense of satisfaction for someone who has availed the benefit of reservation, that he has contributed something to the society also, and there is a pride. Something like that will be a win-win for everyone